Click.
Recording is on.
Okay, now
It's on.
we are recording. Okay, thank you.
If you want.
All right, thank you, Sherrie.
Okay.
Sherrie Kenyon, thank you so much for doing this virtually with me. I know normally I intended this to be a field-based show, and of course I can't do that now. I'm having to do it virtually, and I can't do it physically, which is kind of a bummer. So here we are, and I'm here with Sherrie Kenyon. Thank you, Sherrie, for letting Deb do that with you today.
Well, thank you, Deborah, because this is the first time for me. I have never done a podcast before, so you are initiating me into this process.
Cool. Maybe you'll be one of those who, once you've been a guest on a podcast, you'll want to start one of your own.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
All right. Well, Sherrie, you and I, we know each other from Toastmasters, and I thought that it would be kind of a fun game for us to play to count each other's or notice each other's what I call naughty words as we have our conversation. Naughty words are what I call words such as filler words, like such as, so, phrases that are overused, that kind of thing.
You'd better get a pencil and paper out because I may do a lot.
Then we can always double check it later when we have the subtitles on the screen.
I've got a paper out for you. So watching you.
There we go. Be on already. Okay, Sherrie, if you don't mind, for our listeners, maybe you can give yourself a brief introduction of yourself.
Okay. Well, I am a Pacific Northwest girl, born and raised in Olympia and moved to Tacoma, a whole 20 miles away. I've lived here all my life and just love the Pacific Northwest. As far as work goes, I have been in sales, and you might call me a salesman, because literally my first job in sales was with a business forums company, and I was the first woman that they ever hired in sales. I was surrounded by all these men and made me learn how to compete in the sales world. I finished my sales position with the News Tribune, and I was just worked there for 17 years. I was Salesman of the Year, one of those years. Now that I'm retired, I've gotten back into sales again, and I sell for a senior newspaper, sell advertising.
That's really awesome. We always need people to do that. I know I'm not very good at sales at all. And I kind of am in a sales profession. I do real estate.
It's a learned skill.
It is. Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Now, so are you at home alone? Staying home alone? Are you?
No, I actually I am at my home, and I have my partner with me who I met in Toastmasters. We have known each other for 30 years in Toastmasters, and when both of us were both widowed or divorced, we kind of got together and decided, hey, this is a good thing, and so now we live together and share our lives together.
That's really awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, so better than being at home alone right now.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah. Especially when you're older.
Mm-hmm.
Even less, maybe.
It's just somebody to sit and talk to, and of course he's in Toastmasters, so we have that in common, that we can talk about, and we just enjoy each other's company.
The reason that I wanted to talk to you, the show is intended to be about heroes, showing them where they shine and I can't really do that quite the same virtually. One of what stands out for me about you is, and I know you best from Toastmasters, and that's really most of the examples that I'm going to come up with. And I just see that you are so involved, and actually some things happen in the organization itself because of you. And I guess I think that I sometimes wonder, if you weren't there, who would have done that in your place. It's just, I don't know, can you perhaps, like, I think, for instance, it's hard to think of an example. There are so many.
Well,
And
I, I think I know what,
specific things.
yeah, I think I know what you're saying.
I
Basically,
know.
it's Toastmasters, like any club. There are, all kinds of different clubs around. It really takes a person with energy to be able to kind of keep it going and keep it together. And it's not just one person, there's several persons with the energy, and each one gives something to that part. So it's not me alone, it's other people too doing their part. And this is what makes a club or an organization, and something like Toastmasters, it makes it go. And I know that you are just familiar with me in the club, our particular club that we belong to together. But I have stepped away from, well, I haven't stepped away from the club. I have stepped above that club and worked with the district. So I really network with people all over the Pacific Northwest and even into Alaska, because that's part of our district. So I know all of these people, and it's the energy that I get from them, and I give a little of my energy to them. So we share that. It keeps you going.
Yeah, I just heard of you now. You've got
Ah,
to be listening. Okay. All right. I know recently, and I think you were very helpful in this way, we got our club and a few other clubs to go online using Zoom.
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a big challenge, and I am not a technical person. So this was a big challenge for me. And I'm in a position that I have actually 16 clubs that are under me as a division director. All of a sudden, so many of the clubs weren't meeting. And how do they meet? Well, our district leaders who are in Alaska right now, they decided that they would pay for me and the people like me who are handling all these clubs to have a Zoom account, which means we have unlimited ability to have time on it. And so they have paid for that. And I've gone out and I have given this to all these different clubs so that they are able to meet and have a good practical meeting. In fact, one club that I know of has decided that with their leadership, they have decided that after this coronavirus thing is over and we're able to meet again in person, they are not going to do that. They are going to stay online for a full year. So for the next year, that's what they have decided, that they are going to be an online club. It is a different challenge for all of us. I think it's actually a lot of fun. And, if you are stuck at home, wow, isn't it great to be able to just look at somebody and talk to them, even if it's on a screen? It really, really makes a difference, and it uplifts your spirits.
It really does. I have to be honest. One of the things that drew me to public speaking, I went to Toastmasters initially to improve my skills on the radio. What kept me there was how it felt. When I am speaking, it feels like a drug. And I don't get that same experience speaking virtually. However, even if sometimes I go onto the Toastmasters And, I log into the club online and I just feel like I really just can't get into it. But I still want to go and interact because of the people, seeing the faces, and I
Yes.
would rather see them, also in the lobby and during break, and
Yeah.
have that actual engagement. But it really is a very nice thing to be able to engage with people, see real people, especially the ones not right in your family
Hmm.
that you see out every day, maybe, or you see frequently on video. And it's just, yeah,
I think there's really 2 points that you make there. First of all, the camaraderie that you have in a group like that. People who are going, they've got the same goals or similar goals to what you have. They understand what you're going through in trying to develop speeches, etc., and they really care about your growth and how you do. So you recognize that and you see it, and it's just a good feeling when you're in the club format. But the other thing that you mentioned that I thought was very interesting, and I don't know if you realize it, but when people get up and start speaking, sometimes it takes only one speech, sometimes it takes 5 or 10 speech, but it empowers you. You feel it's like having a high all of a sudden. Wow, I can do this, and I could compete to a higher level, or I could go on stage and do this. I could be a professional speaker. So many people have gotten to that point that, wow, I could be a professional speaker, and it's very exciting feeling. So it's a kind of high you get from knowing that you can get up and speak and get your point across, and people will applaud you.
yeah, it really is. It's a drug. Sure. And you can have withdrawal if you don't give enough speeches.
Hmm. You really have to
And
push yourself to give speeches. Yes.
yeah, I know sometimes I am so tired, and by the time I'm giving a speech, it might be 7:30
Mhm.
at night, and I am just so tired. It's so hard, and then after I do it, it's kind of hard to focus on anything else, even though it's over.
Mhm.
Just the feeling, that rush doesn't go away, and I, to be honest, find it hard to listen to the next speech because my mind is still kind of coming down from that rush.
Right.
And which is also really nice that in the case of our club, we go out afterwards, and doing that is really good, especially after I have a speech. Not just because I want to talk about it, but I just have that high going already, and it's kind of that's a bad one for me. It's difficult to wind down. It's fun to be able to, settle with a glass of wine and get all that energy out.
I think I think that going out afterwards and having a drink, whether it's a glass of wine or a cup of coffee or water, who knows? Everybody has their own drink, but it is nice because we get to all of a sudden, rather than being in a formatted uh, program where you all have a job and we're all doing things, we're able to just sit and get to know each other, and that's where real friendships develop.
People have been asking me a lot how real estate's doing, and how I'm doing, particularly, how it affects me. And what I keep saying is the biggest way that it affects me is how I get my clients, how I get referrals. It's from the physical engagement with people. If I'm not going out with people, if I'm not physically meeting people, if I'm only doing it online, I'm not going to get new clients.
That's right. It does
Get
make a
referrals.
difference, and I think, of course, you're in the same boat with all the other real estate people. I did read in the paper that real estate sales are down in Pierce County right now, and that's probably the reason, because people are just they're not going out. They don't want to go out with somebody to look at a house, and they're putting it off. But once this is over, wow, watch out.
Oh, yeah. Here's what I think. No, right now, there is no shortage of buyers.
Mhm.
There are a shortage of listings. It's down a little bit from normal,
But
about
yeah,
20
again,
25. It could be more or less. The statistics change every week. And when I do show a house, there's multiple offers and it goes for quite a bit over, which is actually nothing new
mhm.
in some price ranges. What I do think is going to happen though is when this is over, and it won't be immediate, it's going to take time. I think that people are going to want to either get a bigger house or a single family home if they're renters.
Yes,
And I see that boom coming in single family.
right.
And I've also seen recently a ton of condos go on the market.
Oh,
A ton. Almost like people are already starting to ditch them because they don't want to be cooped up in a multifamily type of environment. You can't go outside. You got
and
neighbors,
especially with
you got
this coronavirus, they literally are cooped up. It's like being in a cell when you're in a condo or an apartment. You,
yeah.
yeah, you can't get out.
You can't even go outside on your porch and hang out.
Yes,
It's
and many of them
yeah.
don't have a porch.
Yeah. And there's no place for the kids to hang. They might have a playground, but it'll be closed now.
Right.
It's just,
It is hard.
yeah, yeah. I am looking forward to that, although I'm kind of wondering how I'm going to get clients, as I said, without the physical engagement.
I have the same problem because I deal with clients and I'm not able to see them. I'm able to talk to them on the phone and that's it. And, some of them already know me and they know my publication. And so, we can talk, but new people, so hard.
Yeah, even people I know, it's just a different type of engagement
Yes.
altogether. And I'm not real good on the phone. If I can't see the face, then I feel
Yeah.
crippled. I just
Hmm.
I'm terrible on the
You're
phone.
a cool person.
Well, I'm interested to know a little more about you. What is it that you like to do when you're not doing Toastmasters?
When I'm not doing Toastmasters, I'm working. I like to exercise. In fact, this coronavirus thing has gotten me, so I am doing an hour of walking every day. I get out and I find a different place and I go walking and just, get out first thing in the morning and get on the trail. So that's been good for me. But when I retired, I started looking at people who are retired. And of course, working for a senior newspaper, I see a lot of seniors in my business. And I started seeing their health problems and the things that they have. So I really was challenged at that point, and Toastmasters helped me be challenged that way. I was challenged to start looking at, gosh, we've got the time now that we're retired. Why can't we make ourselves better? So that's what I decided. I called it Getting Older, Getting Better. And I like to challenge myself every week to do something. So last week I was eating an apple a day. Little things, but little things that I can do that are healthy. This week it's every day an hour of walking. And so, there's something every time or every week that I can do, and I vary it. Maybe next week will be a salad every day. So things that are healthy for you, but it's not a long-term commitment. You can keep doing it if you want, but it's something that you can do, and it's not like the New Year's resolution where you make the resolution and within a month it's gone. So I figure,
Yeah.
I can do anything for a week. So I just give myself a weekly challenge. It's good.
That's good. Yeah, that is so much better than a New Year's resolution. I agree with you. They're just really silly. You're not going to stick with it for a year, and it might not even be the thing that you should be resolving to do.
Right. Right.
You just think, oh, I've been wanting to do this, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
Be healthier by doing something healthy for yourself every week. And it might be as much as, writing a letter, writing letters all week to connect with somebody, or calling somebody every day. That's something healthy especially for an older person, is staying in touch. Yes, especially now. Right.
Yeah, I feel sorry. There's some older people that I know who live completely alone,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that they are lonely. And I just think I just wish there was something I could do, and there's really not.
Yeah.
Other than and it's not like I can just Zoom them. They're not
No, they don't.
Zoomable.
That's right. They don't have computers. But you know what
Yeah, they're
I
not super savvy in the older age group, and it's hard to even things like Facebook Messenger,
yeah.
using the video call, even that can be difficult.
I'm kind of old school, and I've over the years gone back and forth with just getting postcards and sending postcards to my aunts and uncles. Now I have it's my daughter's mother-in-law, who I know well, and she is in a care facility, and I send her postcards every week. Just chatty little postcards, with fun pictures on them, and what I'm doing, and you know, just to keep in touch. And so I think that's, in fact, postcards have been a big thing of my life. When my two grandsons were both small, I sent each of them 2 postcards every week. And the funny thing is, we were talking about that because I saw them yesterday on Mother's Day. They actually came over, and we all did a backyard picnic. And we were talking about the postcards. They still have all of those postcards that I sent them.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
great.
I don't know what they're going to do with them, but they've got them. Maybe
I
start
used to
a
send a
bonfire.
lot of homemade cards,
Yes.
and now I try to send just handwritten cards.
Right.
Not home. They're homemade, but they're not homemade. Not like I used to. Not the nice crafty ones. They're very simple now. That's all I can do.
Well, there's
I
nothing wrong with
Sure.
that. It's just showing that you care. And I think that makes a difference, and it lights up. I know I used to do my aunt, when she went into a care facility, I started sending her postcards all the time, and she talked to my mother, and she says, Sherrie must travel an awful lot. She sends me postcards from all over. And so I just collected the postcards. So and I use them. I keep the postcards going.
Although you do have a lot of energy for someone your age, I don't know where you come up with this.
I just have, I think, always had a lot of energy. It's just the way I am. I can't say that it's anything that I do, especially I try to take care of myself, and it just seems to work out.
Yeah, yeah. You definitely are a very healthy woman, and for a lot of people your age, I think you're doing pretty good.
I'm trying. I am trying.
Do you and Dawn have any concerns about the virus?
The virus? No, actually, no. We've got our masks, so when we go to the grocery store, we wear our masks. Um, we aren't really too concerned about it because we're both healthy. He's healthy too. He's adopted my lifestyle, and so he's pretty healthy too for his age. He's 85 now.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's
doing pretty good for 85.
He's very good for 85.
Yeah.
And the only thing that he has is some arthritis in his ankles, which can't do too much about that. But he works on it, and he likes to get out and go too. Anytime I'm going someplace, he wants to go with me. Let's go someplace. So he's a goer too.
Yeah. My husband and I, we usually go out together. He drives me a lot of places. I don't like to drive too much anymore. And we also, the regular things like groceries, we do together.
Yeah.
Just pretty much everything. Yes, we're both exposed together. Oh, well.
Yeah. Well, you know, I found there's different places. If you find a little park that's got some picnic tables, uh, we've started like taking our dinner. You know, just take our dinner down and have dinner at a picnic table in a park, and it's just kind of nice. I bring a little tablecloth to put on it, and we're fine. And it's a chance to get out. So I like it.
Yeah.
We've had some nice weather here lately too, so it helps.
Oh, the weekend was really nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah. We were going to take the dog for a walk, I mean, to the park, but we actually didn't do it. We were waiting for it to be cooler,
Yes.
in the morning or in the evening.
Hard to have a dog. You know, dogs make you get outside.
Yeah. I do want to ask you one more thing
Okay.
about Toastmasters.
Okay.
I think it's important for people to know more about it. In particular, it most people associate this with the public speaking, and I think of even though it is a lot of public speaking, it's actually there's a lot more to it, and I think people can benefit from it even if they're not interested in it. Maybe they're terrified of public speaking, have no interest in it at all.
The
Do you
leader,
think it's valuable for these people?
yes, the leadership opportunities. There's one project in Toastmasters which you normally get to after you've done, you know, several speeches or gone to a certain level in Toastmasters, and it's called a high performance leadership project, and it teaches you how to actually put together a whole project. It is so valuable. People use it in their business now. You know, Toastmasters who have done this, they use it in their business, and they said it's a marvelous way to learn about how to put together a project, how to put together a team, how to put together timelines and get things accomplished. So it's really something great, and I have used it over and over again now in every project that I have had. So it's a leadership project, and you get the opportunity in Toastmasters to become a leader. You can take as much as you want out of it. You can become a very strong and very dynamic leader, or you can just do little pieces and step up to it. So it's an opportunity. But one of the other things that have found over the years, I've been in Toastmasters for like 35 years, so it's been a long time. But I did it, but did you catch that? Anyway, I have found that the networking is very valuable. It has been valuable for me. The last two jobs I have gotten have been directly because of Toastmasters. And I mean, not that I got it because I was in Toastmasters, but the people that I was in Toastmasters with knew I was looking for a job, and they told me, hey, this is the person to call. There's a job opening, and you can talk to that person. So I had to go and sell myself, obviously, but
Yeah.
they gave me the people to go see. And so that was like with the News Tribune. I was in a Toastmasters club with several people from the News Tribune. So it was kind of funny when I got the job there. My new boss, said to me, apparently what they do when someone new is hired, they would send out a blast to all the employees. Please welcome Sherrie Kenyon, who's coming into this department, our new employee. He said, when he sent out that blast, he says, you know more people here than I do. he said that all these people came and said, hey, we know her and you'll really like her and she'll do well. And so it's an opportunity to network. You get to know people in different businesses and doing different kinds of things.
Yeah, it is a very good group for networking, I think. And I think it's actually better than some networking groups, most of them.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is a networking group is most of them are just all down to business, and they have a formal meeting, and maybe that's it. There's
Right.
no real engagement. There's no vulnerability, which is something you get in Toastmasters.
Yes.
Everybody vulnerable and everybody helping you. For instance, you give a speech and you get actual feedback that's helpful. If
Yeah.
you give a speech at a networking group, everyone's going to say, "Oh, nice speech, good job." No one's going to say, "Oh, you might have done that better or that better." No one will tell you that.
Yes. Well, we aren't really critical, but we try to make people better at what they do, and that's
Right.
that's the idea.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's an important point. It's not about being critical. It's about helping us get better. And you can't improve if there's no honesty, what you need to work on. And maybe I would prefer to have more, yeah, more feedback, more, details. And some people, they can just handle a little bit. And
That's true. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's always very helpful. And
Yeah.
I think most of all, Toastmasters teaches people to be aware of the words they use.
Right.
And you can sound so much more professional, more educated. You'll sound like you know more information than the person next to you when maybe you don't. It's how you speak, how you come
Right.
across and present
How you
yourself.
build trust. Yes.
Very important.
I think one of the nice things we're talking about networking in a club. In our particular club, the fact that we have people who do podcasts, you included, and there are some others too, and they share this with each other and they get each other involved in it. Yeah, I think that is a marvelous way to network, just doing something new together.
Yeah, yeah. When you do things like a podcast, you have to ask people to be your guest, and you
Yes.
need to have potential guests. Some of them might come from Toastmasters and other places, and but Toastmasters is probably a really good place to get guests
Yes,
because you get guests who know how to talk and aren't afraid of speaking.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, the normal person, you say, "Oh, would you like to be on my podcast?" You'll be on the screen, and they just panic.
It might be getting easier now. People are used to Zoom a little bit.
True. That's true. As people get used to it, I think that will change. Right. Change things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Sherrie Kenyon, it was really nice talking to you.
Well, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I wish Deb would get to do that with you physically. And that will happen again the
It will.
next time
I
we
know.
go to assemble in Toastmasters. And for now, we'll keep meeting online and we'll see each other on the screen.
On the screen. Yes.
I was going to say the big screen, and then I realized for you it might not be so big. I sometimes put it on my TV screen.
Oh, okay. No, I've got pretty big screen on my computer, so you're live to me.
Right now, I'm using a little mobile phone, and
Yes.
I keep it on the tripod, and then I don't have to keep taking it off and on if I use my other one. So it's an old.
But I just want to thank you. Thank you for stepping up and doing something like this. It's a challenge and it's different and it's a challenge for you. It's a challenge for me also. And I really appreciate that you did this.
Oh, thank you, Sherrie. Yeah, I'm trying to have fun and trying to keep my dream alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I don't do something, it's not going to happen. I worry.
Time to do it.
Yes. Okay, Sherrie.
Well,
Thank you so much, Sherrie Kenyon.
Thank you.